And welcome to FSBRacing.com. Live Friday night Winston Cup action in the Aero 88 mod. We are at Las Vegas, and this is the revamped version of Las Vegas 2011, I believe it's called. And has a lot more stuff going on with it. And guys have been finished qualifying, and Ken Shea takes the pole, which is nice to see a different face up at the front there, and also Joe Cutt with a outside pole run of his own. Nice job. Usual suspects like Robert Bokum must have had some struggles there, or just wants the challenge of mixing it up with the rest of the field, but he qualified down in 9th, and a lot of guys got black flags here, it appears, listening in on the meeting. There is with these aftermarket tracks, they put in speeding black flag on pit road, so guys who lit it up coming out of pit road got black flag right before their qualifying run even began, so they're gonna have to start at the back of the field and make it from the back to the front, so that should be interesting. A lot of fast cars mixed out sprinkled through the field now, including Pops Margerson, who was looking at practice times here. You can see he was second quick, and he'll be starting in the back, so should be really interesting to see how all those kind of things shake out. While we're in happy hour here with about a minute and a half left, let's take a look at the point standings here in the 88 Winston Cup Series. As of last week, Robert Bokum enjoying a 29-point lead over Derby Don, and third place Sean Johnson 58 points behind. So some ground to make up for this field here. Robert's really been setting a very demanding pace here, winning races and finishing up front when he didn't win. And you can see that the points all the way down to 119 down in 10th place. T.G. Reese, who had a great run there at Boston to bump him up into the top 10. As you see, he jumped 3 positions. So the rest of the field really has got to be on its game here. And you see Joe Cutt there in 7th place. He qualified outside pole, so he's serious here, and he knows what he needs to do. He needs to win races. He needs to be up front. And he needs to gain some points at least on the rest of the field, if not Robert. So we'll see how that goes in this race. I turned some laps myself here, and I wasn't very fast compared to the rest of the field, but it is a fast track. You can keep it down to the floor until the tires start wearing out a little, and it's fast speed. And watching practice, I know obviously a lot of the guys are a little looser in practice than they would be in a race, but there were a lot of incidents for guys trying to make some ambitious passes, or just some tight 2 wide and even 3 wide at times racing in practice, and led to some wrecks. So we'll see how that goes as we go to the big screen here. And we're following the 51 car Dave Gendry as happy hour concludes. There's scrolling through the field here. There's the 5 of Sean Johnson, the 83 is Steve Weber. As Milty, who might not make it tonight to the broadcast, he was detained at a Buffalo Wild Wings. So shout out to Milty over at the Buffalo Wild Wings, enjoying a brewski. It looks like the field is getting ready to grid here.
Drivers to your
and idea from there we see the 88 of Joe Cutt, Amp Energy Camaro, nice looking ride. There's Ken Shea's big Buick. 5 is Sean Johnson. In the Swift, Transportation. And in the Thunderbird, the Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, T. Roy. And the Lowenbrow car, Oldsmobile of Dave Jandry. And next to him, the Balcom Motorsports number 6, Mark Senza. Sam Young, I apologize for Sam for not having his paint. I'll have to check in on that, but that's not his normal paint. The Pennzoil is the default color, so I apologize, Sam. Next to him is 77 of Pat Rouchet and Harley Davidson Chevy Lumina. 16 of Dan Francisconi, Sconi.com. Check that. If you haven't been to a website that means something, go to Sconi.com. Check it out. You'll be very happy you did that. And there's the 18 of Robert Bochum, the Buick, of the leader of Bochum Motorsports.
Drivers, to your cars.
I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know what happened there. That was very odd. And when I jumped down to the other channel, I didn't hear anyone saying anything. So don't know really what that was about, folks. I apologize for that. But it looks like they back out on the track. And yeah, I believe we're ready to go racing here very shortly. We'll follow the leaders off the start here. Here's the 91 of Ken Shea. A great run from Ken Shea here. Not sure if he's a Winston Cup regular here, but he's been showing up lately. He's winning races again, and it's good to see Ken Shea out there. And now he's on the pole here at Las Vegas. And pace car does pull off finally. Well, that was a bizarre restart there. And we're about ready to get some green flag racing. And we do have the green, and away we go into turn 1s and 2. Again, it's almost a flat out with the new tires. Want to be just a bit careful getting into the corner so you don't get out of shape, but other than that, it's matte down. You can see there's some heavy racing going on behind them already. 5 of Sean Johnson, 88 of Joe Cutter, side by side as they exit out of 4 and come down the front stretch. And the 51 of Dave Jandry immediately on Sean's bumper as well. Some great action right behind the leader, Ken Shea. There the 51 really pressing Sean, trying to get by him. Sean not going to be distracted by that. He's going to drive his line and see what happens here. And right now he's continuing to hold the second position, as you see Ken Shea right out in front with a couple tenths lead. But there's a lot of action right behind him. The 5, the 51, the 88, and the 17 now getting close together. With Mark DeSenza right there looking on interestingly. as is Sam and Robert and Pat Richey moving up, trying to move up to these top 5. '26 of Bill Martino, right behind Pat there. And there we have the 16 car Den. He's followed by the 19 of Troy Higgins in the Geico colors. And there's another 2-wide battle there between the 108, the Dog, and I believe the 191 of Mike Sanders are battling it out. And there's a Derby Don who I think was one of the DQ qualifiers, and he has starting out in back, and it's not agreeing with him so far. He's still mired toward the back of the field. There's the 72 of Mike Pruitt, Jack and Coke ride. And right behind him, Ken Hansen in the 9 in the Classic Coors colors. And then we get another set of drivers here, led by the 44 of Mark Fravert. And there's back to there. There's the 80 car of Ed Finley, trying to work by Mark there on the high side. Didn't work out. And 151 at Guy Petra, looking to take advantage of Ed's attempt at a pass there, and he closes in on Ed's back bumper. And right behind him are the 83 and the 23, respectively, Steve Weber, Jim Scharf. Webb takes the position away from him there, and they continue on. And right behind Jim there's the 53 of T.G. Reese. And bringing up the rear of the field, the 99 of Pops Markison, who was the second fastest car in practice. I don't know what's going on with Pops, unless he's just running ultra conservative, but he needs to hustle as we go back to the front of the field. The 91 of Ken Shea continues to lead, but the 5 of Sean Johnson and the 51 of Dave Jandry have closed up on him. And Sean looking really racy here, looking to make a move on him. Let's see if Ken gives ground, or is he going to fight for this front position with Dave Jandry looking to follow Sean to take away the second position now as Sean goes into the lead. Ken Shea goes high as they get down the backstretch there, but he was able to hold off the 51 as the 88 of Joe Cutt blows up. That's a terrible break for Joe Cutt, and they're not able to. Oh man, that's too bad. They're not able to hold it together from Joe Cutt's blowing up, and that spelled disaster for the 49 of Derby Don, the 44, and the 17 of T-Roy. All were involved in that mess, and that's just a victim of circumstances. That's really in the 98 of Sam Young also was involved in that incident. That's a shame. So early in the race, through no fault of anyone, Joe Cutt's car looked like it blew up, and in his he did everything he could. He got down, he got into the pits, but in the melee, unfortunately, to stay away from him, unfortunately, there were some other guys caught up in it. And as we're following Joe here, you see that everything was looking good. He was in a big tight pack of cars, and the engine just let loose right there, as you can see. And that's nothing you can do about that. That's unfortunate. It's part of the nuances of the game, if you will. And then you can see after he blew up, guys were trying to stay off of him. Joe got a little loose there, but Sam just glanced the wall and got into T-Roy, and they both spun and both hit the outside wall. Not terribly hard for Sam. T-Roy pretty hard, and unfortunately, there we see the Derby Don on his side there. We'll take a look there and see what happened. And that's another bad break for Derby. As you can see, T-Roy from the aftermath of his wreck, and boy, Derby hit him hard, and I'm sure Derby's out of the race, and that's a shame for Derby. He was up there in the points, and that's gonna take a hit for him there. And as the car circles around, we're going to take a small break. Remember, FSBRacing.com. And welcome back. We're watching FSBRacing.com Aero 88 Series Friday night Winston Cup. We're here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the running order here. We have the 26th of Bill Martino now on point. I don't know if Bill didn't pit or maybe took 2 tires when everyone else took 4. But Bill's out in front, leading some laps, and that's a nice brand spanking new paint job he just slapped on this bad boy here, the Pepsi Max colors, and they're looking pretty nice there, Bill. Good job on the paint. The 91 of Ken Shea now in second. He's followed by the 51 of Dave Jandry. 6 of Mark DeSenza in fourth. And the 18 of Robert Bochum in fifth. He's already back to the top 5. No surprise there for Robert. Pat having a good run so far. Keep it going, Pat, in sixth. And Den having also a great run there in seventh, and a good pit stop for Den. Following out the top 10 here, we have the 191 of Mike Sanders now up there, as is the 44 of Mark Favor and the 72 of Mike Pruitt. There's T-Roy with some damage to the rear of the car. And we're going to see how that plays out, and how T-Roy can manage to see if he can get his way back into the mix. But that might be a tall order for T-Roy, as the lights on the pace car are out. So we'll be resuming some green flag racing momentarily. And we go back green, and we're back underway. And let's see how Bill Martino, who's was racing here, left and came back. So it's not like he's a rookie. He knows what he's doing. Good speed shot there as they accelerate out of 1 and 2 down the backstretch here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Ken Shea right on his bumper, though. These are the pros behind him. So Bill has started back into the rookie division, where I also race, and he's won a race now and got some nice paint. He's feeling good, he's feeling confident, and he's leading laps here on a Friday night. And not a lot of rookies can say they've led laps on a Winston Cup race, so good job by Bill, and he's doing some green flag leading as well right now. But the 91 of Ken Shea really pressing him hard here. So we'll see how this pans out. We don't want to see any kind of wreck in the front of the field. But we see some smoke, and a caution is out though. Caution is out. Caution is out. Not sure what came of that. Okay, well now we see what happened. Wow is my initial reaction is wow, and that was some wrecking going on there, folks. Let's take a look at what happened here. I'm not sure who was involved, but let's forward this here, and we can see the 80 of Ed Finley, and it looks like the 99 of Pops Margison got together there. It looked like Ed had a run on the far outside. They made it 3 wide there, and as Ed went into his turn in, he just got right into the side of Pops Margison, and that also collected. Boy, poor T-Roy's had some bad luck tonight. That collected T-Roy, who had to get hard on the binders, and then some wrecking ensued. And you see the 9 car there, Ken Hansen, hard into the side of Pops Margison, and that's going to really do some damage to a motor. And then Ken really drilled. I mean, really drilled hard by the Geico car, and as they say, the 19 of Troy Higgins, they said that is going to leave a mark. And you see Ken went for a big ride. Troy and them have to think are done, if not completely done. And there's the dog also caught up in that mess. Yeah, that was a mess, folks. That's not what you like to see. And a lot of cars taken out there, and we'll check the running order here, and we can see the retirees already piling up here early on in this race. We see the 88 of Joe Cutt had the camshaft blow out, and the 49 of Derby Don retired for a piston, but he was involved in that wreck due to no fault of his own, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now the 17 is also retired, the 17 of Troy Knoll. T-Roy is done for the night, and a 22nd place finish for T-Roy. The 19, the 5, the 9, the 53, I think was okay. Might need some tires. The 108 was involved. The 80 was involved. The 99 of Pops was involved. So some cars there, 15th through the rest of the field, and heavily involved in that. Bill continues to stay in front there. But as you see, the 91 of Ken Shea also went into the pits again. Now he's back to 11th. So be interesting to see how these other cars, now that sustain some damage, survive. They managed to stay on the lead lap, it appears. So that's one of the missions of when you're involved in a wreck. Is number 1, get into the pits as fast as you can, get new tires, get the necessary repairs done that you need to have to stay competitive. Get out, don't lose a lap, get pumped back into the pits if necessary to keep working on the kinks. As long as you stay on the lead lap, that's all that really matters. So these guys have all done that, and that's a good job by the rear of the field there that was involved in that to get back up and running, not losing a lap. So let's recap. Top 5 here. The 26th of Bill Martino continues lead, but now the 6th of Mark DeSenza in second, followed by the 18 of Robert Bokum, who restarted in 5th, now at the 3rd. 77 of Pat Rouchet, just following Robert, and he's been in right behind him the whole race, and now he's up to 4th. Nice job by Pat. The rookie's 1st and 4th. Nice job. 16 of Dan Francisconi, the 191 of Mike Sanders, and the 44 of Mark Favorite have been up there and have held their positions, as has the 72 of Mike Pruitt. So nice job by those guys. And we should be getting ready for some green flag racing as we go back to the front of the field, and we're back underway. And here you see Bill battling the 6 car, and I know Mark's the fast. He's one of the fast drivers here at FSB in all aspects of the sport, and he's really pressing Bill hard here as he goes side by side for the lead. Looked like Bill did lead that lap, but I don't think he's going to lead the next one. He's got his teammate, the 18 of Robert Bokum, on the low line following him, and he's going to have a battle on his hands here as he holds Robert off nicely to hold the 2nd position for now. But he did let the 6 get by there. Really didn't let the 6 get by. The 6 took the position. And now the top 3 are the 6 of Mark DeSenza, followed by the 26 now of Bill Martino, and the 18 of Robert Bokum. But there's a big gaggle of cars, if you will, behind this top 4 here, as the 77 of Pat Rouchet and the 191 of Mike Sanders are battling it out. I believe they're teammates. So we'll see how that shakes out. As Pat gets down on the apron just a bit there and might lose some speed there. Didn't hit the wall, but probably had to pedal it a little there to stay off of it. And that's going to cost him several positions, I fear, here. As the 191, the 44... I'll get by him. And there's the 91 of Ken Shea, the 51 of Dave Jandry. There's Ken Shea was sat on the pole here, led some laps, and elected to pit when most of the other guys didn't pit after that other caution. It was a quick caution, but Ken Shea elected to go in, but now he's moving back up to the front here as he battles the 44 car, Mark Forever, and gets on the inside of him. And he took the 51 of Dave Jandry and the 72, I believe. Yes, the 72 of Mike Pruitt with him. Nice job by the 51 and the 72 taking advantage of the hole that Ken Shea opened there. We go back. As we go back up to the front of the field, you see the 5 car of Sean Johnson now is up at the front. But problem is that Sean's battling to stay on the lead lap, I believe, as we bring up the running order here. You can see that the 5 is a couple laps down, actually. So I think this is one of the cases they're teammates, so I believe it's one of those, as long as you can keep up with the pace we're setting as the leaders, you stay with us here. Maybe you can not go any further laps down and take it from there. They're good teammates. Boca Motorsports is really a great bunch of guys, led by Robert, of course, who, like I said, is willing to share anything with you at any time. All you gotta do is ask him. and he'll be more than willing to give some of his time up and you know, give you his ideas or give you some advice if that's what you need. And the rest of the guys follow that lead very well on the team. And Sean and Mark are both fast drivers and both very courteous and sportsman drivers as well. Here we see the 16 of Dan Francisconi. He's right up there with the leaders, battling away. Great run so far for Dan. I believe he's in the 5th position. Here as Bill Martino and Robert Bokum go side by side here for the 2nd position. And finally Robert Bokum takes the position, and the 16 goes with him, as does the 191 and the 91. A couple 90... Seeing 91s zipping by him right now as Bill got shuffled out to the high side of the track, and with these older tires now, after this little run has progressed here, it's very difficult to stay. Oh, and there's some contact there with the 51 and the 26 hard into the outside wall. I don't think we're going to have a caution, but that was a hard hit for the 26, and I fear that that could end his night, unfortunately. As we go back up to the front, no fault there of the 51 for sure. Looked like the 26 just might have lost it a little and got a little loose and banged off the door of the 51 and then shot up into the inside wall. That's an unfortunate after leading some laps and really fighting some of the great pros here at FSB. So maybe he took some learning experience there from the laps that he ran around these guys. It is not often that you get the chance to run with them lap after lap. Usually I see them as they go on by me, and then I don't see them again for 30 to 45 seconds depending on the lap times, and then I see them again as they go by me. So to run up there and mix it up with them is always really fun, and it does give you a lot of experience watching their lines and seeing where they're beating you, and maybe once in a while where you get lucky and keep up with them, or actually get a little action on them. But as we can see here, Sean is continuing to stay out front there to not go another lap down, and the 6 of Mark DeSenza continues to lead the race, and he's followed by his teammate, the 18 of Robert Bokum, and another teammate, the 16 of Dan Francisconi. So Bokum Motorsports showing the way here with the top 3. But then the 191 there of Mike Sanders, who looked like he might have just had a little computer glitch there as he blinked out for just a second, but he's back and looks okay to me now. The 191 of Mike Sanders having a great run so far. And is Ken Shea coming right back to the front after the second pit stop there on the yellow, where most of the guys did elect to stay out. So now Ken, with the fresher tires for sure, is finding it not that easy to get back to the front with these guys. They're fast, but he's really giving the 191 all he can handle right now. And the 51 of Dave Jandry there is interested spectator as he sees what Ken's going to do and open up that hole for him, and then I believe he'll duck down and follow Ken right through that hole that he creates. But the 191 of Mike Sanders has different ideas right now, and he's running fast and he's running a clean line, and Ken's just going to have to find a way to get past him if that's what he wants to do, and he needs to do it cleanly. So he's putting some pressure on Ken right here, forcing him to make a clean pass. Mike Sanders is, keeping pace with the rest of the field, so he's doing a great job there and running his race. Looks like the 18 here is pulled up on the 6 and making a look on the inside here, and now as their teammates, we're not going to see a battle here. I think Mark knows Robert now is the faster car, and he'll duck in right behind him, and they'll continue on 1-2. Just flip-flop of a position there, and 16 of Dan Francisconi still right there in the mix with the top two. And Sean is able to keep the lead out there and not go another lap down so far. So far so good, as they get a good run there on Den. The 191 and the 91 now are pushing each other so hard they've gotten around the 16 of Dan Francisconi for third place, and 51 of Dave Jandry also has snuck by the 16 of Den. So Dan loses 3 positions there as he got a little squirrely. Stayed off the wall, I believe, for the most part, so he'll be okay. He's still in the top 10, and he's having a great run so far. But you can see these guys here, the 91, the 191, and the 51. All these cars ending with the number ones here are really battling it out, and really entertaining action here. And looks like we're under caution now. And Sean is able to re-get a lap there. I don't know if the 23 had some problems there. Looks like it was right ahead of the 23. Looks like the 108 there of Dog Palmer got a little squirrely there. Let's rewind it here and see what happened. Yeah, he went for a ride actually. It looks like the 53 of T.G. Reese there and also was also involved. This wreck happened. We'll see. T.G. here. Deep in the grass. Now we see why. It looks like the 26 and the 53 had contact. The 53 shooting through the grass. And then as he came out, right in front of the Dog 108, and there was contact with the Dog. And wow, that's that's a crazy wreck there. TG got into, it looked like got into the 26 of Bill Martino as he tried to get underneath him. That caused the initial contact. Bill into the outside wall hard. TG shooting across the front stretch grass and then coming out onto turn 1 there and clipping the back of the Dog and wrecking the Dog as well. And that's a really bizarre wreck. And there we see TG live. He's still riding around, but you can see some other guys in this melee of a race so far. The 17, the 19, the Troys have both retired. There we see Sean still 2 laps down, so he did not lose any further laps, and he'll start at the front of the field with the leaders. And there you see the 80 of Ed Finley, who was involved in that earlier wreck, and the 98 of Sam Young, who was also involved in an earlier melee, are now out of the race. So we have 18 cars left in the race, 17 on the lead lap, and led by the 53 now, TG Reese, but TG had some damage, so I would think he'd be going into the pits, and that will leave the 18 of Robert Bokum into the lead. That was a crazy wreck there. Started in looked like it started basically in turn 3, went through turn 4, and then all the way through the backstretch into turn 1, where the contact with Dog was. So that was like a half of a lap of a wreck there. They were wrecking from turn 3 to turn 1 there, folks, all the way through the front stretch as well. And that's a crazy wreck there as TG does peel off and come into pit lane to get that car some needed service and I'm sure some repairs after really a bizarre, kind of unfortunate wreck there. It's very difficult to slow down when you're on the grass. And he shot down there after the contact, so it really wasn't his choice to go down there. And then once he was in the grass, even with the brakes fully set there, I don't think there was any way he could have kept it down on the apron at that speed. And there we go, back to the leaders, as we said, with the 53 peeling in for his pit stop. The 18 assumes the lead along with the 6 of Mark DeCenza right behind him. And then we see the 5 car on the inside of Sean Johnson. He's 2 laps down, but I'm sure this is another all 3 teammates here, so it wouldn't shock me to see Sean get ahead of Robert and then they just continue on. And if it does come down to Robert being a lot faster and being held up with the rest of the field, Sean will give way at that point. I just wouldn't be surprised to see that. And I'm sure Sean will be well communicating back and forth between the 3 of them there. As we get the green flag underway here, and we see the 5 of Sean Johnson on the inside of the 18, and he'll take him into turn 1 as the new leader of the race per se. But now basically 1 lap down. 18 of Robert Bokum, the 6 of Mark DeCenza, and now the 91 of Ken Shea back up into the top 3. After falling back there with those pit stops, now he's back up level pit stops with everyone. And he's right on the back bumper of the 6 car and the 18. So Ken Shea looking to go back to the front here. And he's taken the 51 of Dave Jandry with him and the 191. They have swapped here. 191 was out ahead of this group of 3 here, but now they've swapped some positions. But they remain together, and they've worked well together. But you can see here Dave Jandry getting a little high, and that's going to put the 191 and the 16 of Dan Francisconi on the inside of him. Just one little slip up here, and you're really going to have guys taking advantage of your mistake. And it looked like Dave just got a little too high there in the turn, had to get off the gas to gather it together to stay off the wall. And now you can see that the 191 has tried to get past him, but 51 is Dave Jandry really. Oh, and 191 of Mike Sanders gets really loose as they come out of 4, and that's going to allow those guys to pull away and also bring now other guys into the mix behind the 191, the 16 of Dan Francisconi, and now the 72 of Mike Pruitt, taking advantage of another mistake. As you can see, like I said, you make one mistake and these guys are too good. They will pounce on your mistake and make you pay for it. And you can see Mike just got a little loose there, had to gather the car up, and now it's cost him 2 positions so far and contact with the top runners. So Mike's going to need to gather it back in, get his focus back, get him what got him back up to the front to begin with, and he needs to start doing that again. As you can see, there's only lap 47 of 106, so we're not even halfway yet. So he's got plenty of time to get back to the front. And now the 83 of Steve Weber making a run on Mike Sanders. And Webb looking to move to the front for the first time. And there we see the 151 of Guy Petra passing the 99 of Pops Margison for that position. And there's the 77 of Pat Roche, who dodged a bullet on a couple of those wrecks, it looked like. I don't know if maybe he caught a little of them or not, but I think I saw him dodge at least 1 or 2 there. And there's the 23 of Jim Sharp and the 108 of Dog Palmer, who was an unfortunate victim in that last wreck with TG. But Dog's back out there running some good laps. And there's TG and the 9 of Ken Hansen, who really took a blasting earlier. And I'm really impressed that he's even running. And back to the front here. The 5 car, as we said, of Sean Johnson is a lap down car, but he's out in front of the leader, so he's 1 lap down now. He was 2 to begin this run, but you can see they're closing down on him. The 18 and the 6 continue to run 1-2. And the 91 of Ken Shea really putting a lot of pressure on the 6 of Mark DeSenza. And I'm sure Mark is doing everything he can here to stay on the bumper of Robert Bokum as well. And that's what he's been doing, and it's very difficult to pass here. And once you get down on the inside, you kind of have to pedal the car just slightly to keep it on that line, and it allows the guy on the outside to keep the foot on the gas down a little harder for a little longer, and he'll get that run back out on the outside of you to get right past you again, and then you repeat it all over again. And as you do that, you lose time to the people in front of you, and you bring people behind you into the mix. So you really got to use it with caution, because if you aren't successful and you battle side by side here, you're going to lose a lot of time and lead to a potential incident where a lot of guys bunch up as an unsuccessful pass happens. But as we can see here, Robert continues to lead with the 6 and the 91, just nose to tail, as is now the 51 of Dave Jandry, and 16 of Dan Francisconi, and 72 of Mike Sanders. I mean, all these guys have run nose to tail, and we can continue to go down. There you see the 72 of Mike Pruitt, and there's the 191 of Mike Sanders, who has globbed on to the end of this line here, and he's looking to move back to the front. He's focused back again, and he's running fast laps again. He's looking racy. And there's the right behind him, the 83 of Bill Weber, who has battled him and tried to take that position earlier and wasn't successful. And right now he should be content to run in a line and close down the speed on the leaders, which is what they've done. Because as we go to the front, we can see that the 5 continues to stay out front of the 18, but no one is running away with this race right now, with the 91 of Ken Shea and the 51 of Dave Jandry locked in 3rd and 4th, nose to tail with the leaders. Some really great racing here so far here at Las Vegas. We don't think we'd see a pass for the lead with the 6 car unless there's some team orders or some knowledge there going back and forth. I wouldn't suspect Mark just to make a move unannounced on Robert, but Ken Shea wants that position, so he's going to do whatever he needs to do, and I can guarantee you looked like the caution was out there as we just completed that lap. And Sean Johnson will get a lap back there, so he'll just be 1 lap down. He'll be able to come back around and line up again with the leaders. And Sean might be seeing his way onto the lead lap here. And as we watch the leaders here and see what they elect to do. They elect to come down pit road. And there we see Robert Bokum leading the procession here. We'll watch our first pit stops. We usually watch in cautions, but we're going to watch some pit stops now and see how the pros do it here. The 18 leading down the 6. And of course Robert did not qualify as well. He doesn't have his traditional front pit stall, so he's going to have to deal with maybe a little traffic here as he gets in and guys around him come in later, as we see the 16 sliding in, and now the 77 of Pat Rouchet coming in a little later than Robert, so he'll have to deal with getting around them. And there we see the 6 and the 51, and there we see Ken Shea way up at the front there, the 91. And as you can see, that front pit stall may have gotten Ken Shea the second position there. We'll check the running order as they all gather back up onto the track and get past the start-finish line. But that front pit stall from Ken Shea may have come into play there, and he may have taken the position from the 6 car, Mark DeSenza, during the pit stop. He's certainly running in the second position right now, so as they come around here across the start-finish line and get the updated scoring, we'll see what's what here as they come out of 4. And some of the guys that stayed out on the first round are coming in now here on the second yellow flag lap. And here we see Robert Bokum getting ready to cross the start-finish line. We'll get some updated standings here for you. And there we go. And there we see the 18 of Robert Bokum, and that's official. The 91 of Ken Shea did take that position off of pit lane, and has the second position now behind Robert. 6 of Mark DeSenza in third, the 51 of Dave Jandry in fourth, and 72 car of Mike Pruitt having a great run so far in fifth. Steve Weber moved up nicely on pit lane to sixth, and he's followed by 16 of Dan Francisconi in seventh, the 151 of Guy Petra, 191 of Mike Sanders in ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is the rookie number 77, Pat Richey. Pat hanging in there in the top 10. Good job, Pat. As we go down a little further in the running order, there we see the 44 of Mike Favorite. And he's followed by the 108 of Doc Palmer. 53 of T.G. Reese. All these guys had damage and managed to stay on the lead lap too, and that's a great job. 9 of Ken Hansen, and the 99 of Pops Marguson in 15th place on the lead lap. And the last car on the lead lap, 23 car Jim Scharf. But now we have 2 cars a lap down. There's the 26 and the 5 car. There we see the 5 and the 26 are a lap down. As soon as the lights come off and we get ready to go back to green, they're going to be able to move all the way up to the front again. And Sean's car, I don't believe, has any damage, watching the way he's been running at the front of the field. So again, a nice break for Sean, who's just now 1 lap down. He was almost 3 laps down. Managed to stay out ahead to save that 3rd lap, and then took the lead here and then got a caution. Now he's 1 lap down, and once we go back to green, I would expect to see the same strategy employed here. However, there is a fly in the ointment here of Boca Motorsports' plan, and that's the 91 of Ken Shea, who is not going to be interested in a lap down car keeping his lap. He's going to be looking to take the lead here. So Robert can't be too careful here. He's going to lose the lead as well, and so it will be a little more interesting set of strategy going to happen here on this restart as opposed to the last one with when they had his teammate behind him. It was kind of predictable of what was going to happen. Remember, FSB racing rules: no passing till the backstretch, which means as they take the green and go into 1 and 2, the positions or the lane that you're in needs to stay in that lane. So meaning Ken Shea cannot drop down and get behind the 5 to go past Robert Bokum. Ken Shea has to stay in the high line with Robert, behind Robert, till they exit turn 2. So Ken limited in kind of what he can do here. As we see, the 5 car does get out in front as we exit turn 2 here and get onto the backstretch. So they were able to get Sean out front there, so he's technically the last car on the lead lap now. as he's hoping now for another caution so he can circle back around and start working his way to the front again. Great job by Sean. And as you can see, there's still plenty of laps, 45 laps remaining. So we still got plenty of time here, folks, to see Sean work his way from the back to the front. But we can see this time with the 91 of Ken Shea really leaning on the 18 of Robert Bochum, and the 6 of Mark DeSenza, of course, who lost that position to Ken on pit lane. He wants it back, and he wants to get that buffer with his teammates hooked back up with the top 3 basically there. And as you can see, the 6 car looking on the outside of the 91, which I don't see working. If you can pass a fast car like the 91 on the outside, I'd be really shocked, in all honesty. But it looks like Mark is really working the high side here. But going wide there as they exit out of 4, he's lost, and now there's been huge contact, and Mark has got wrecked and also hit by Dog. And Mark's night has unfortunately come to an end, folks, and that's a shame. As we look back on the replay, we can see just oh so slight a contact there with the 51 car. We can see him, looks like, it's hard to tell, folks. I'm not going to make the calls of these, but it looked to me that the 6 came down just slightly on the 51. Made the contact there, and unfortunately the results are never good. Hard, really hard into the outside wall there. Not once, but twice. And as he continued to just slowly circle and do his loops, hit again by Dog Palmer as an insult to injury there. And unfortunately Mark's night is done. And got a feel for him because he had a great run. And his loss, it appears, is the 5's gain. As if I do see correctly, the 5 car of Sean Johnson is back on the lead lap. And Sean has done a magnificent piece of driving to not give up when he was 2 laps down. It's very easy to be discouraged and say, screw it, my race is done. He didn't do that. He battled. He drove the wheels off that car to stay out in front of a lot of fast guys. And now he is the last car in the lead lap. And he's going to be very happy. And he's going to be pumped up. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see Sean Johnson in battling, if not for the lead, in top 5 by the end of this race. Just a great job, Sean. But let's go back to the front of the field here, and we see the 23 car circling in front of the pace car, Jim Scharf. I don't know if Jim is just doing some caution laps or got trapped out somehow, but as you can see in the running order, showing that he's in 5th, but he certainly can't be 5th if he is following the pace car here. So we'll have to see once they cross here the start finish line what kind of update we get. Now the 23 is showing in the lead. Flashing lights still on the pace car, so that means 2 laps minimum. 26 of Bill Martino, you see right behind the 23 car. He is a lap down, but now the only car lap down. The 18 of Robert Bochum now in 2nd. I have to think that the 23 car is going to come in. He'd be a sitting duck. Being sitting duck here with 40 laps remaining. I'd have to think, especially with the lights flashing still on the pace car. He knows he can duck in now and have no worries. So I would be very surprised if the 23 didn't peel into pit lane here to get his service and fresh tires. We will see. As the FSB Corvette circles the field here. And how about that FSB Corvette, huh? That's looking sharp. We complete lap 66 of 106. That means we have 40 laps remaining. And there we see the 23 peel in wisely. And as we cross the start-finish line here, I would suspect that the lights will be out on the pace car, which means we will resume green flag racing next lap. Yes, lights are out on the pace car. And let's take a look at some of these guys' paint jobs while they're circling around here. There's the 26 car of Bill Martino's Pepsi Max car. 18 of Robert Bocum. And there's the 191, the Golden Nugget. Golden Nugget of Mike Sanders, Sin City Motorsports. Monsoon sponsored Ken Shea, 91 in the Bic Buick. 72 of Mike Pruitt in the Jack Daniels Jack and Coke Monsoon Motorsports. Lowenbrow ride of Dave Jandry. There's another Jack car for Steve Weber, but this is the Tennessee Honey Jack Daniels ride, not to be confused with the Jack and Coke ride. There's the 151 of Guy Petra and the MTX Audio Thunderbird. Guy, a big Ford fan. And there's the 77 of Pat Roche in 8th, and the 16 of Dan Francisconi right behind him. As we get green flag racing underway, and there's 53 TG Reese, who was involved in that wild half-mile wreck, and he's up into the top 10. So great run by TG. As we go back to the front of the field, let me get my cameras back right. Okay, well, we see that the 191 of Michael Sanders was able to get by the 91 of Ken Shea as they restarted. And 191 is all over the 18 car here, but now he's being reeled in by the 91, and side by side the 51 of Dave Jandry. And the 72 of Mike Pruitt are battling with the 4 guys there on the low line looking to have the advantage over the 51. But almost side by side there at the line, the 191 of Mike Sanders has forced his way into the lead and pushed Robert Bocum high. And that opens the door for the 91 of Ken Shea, who makes a move to the inside of the 18 car. As the 191 of Mike Sanders takes the lead, and he took the lead with authority right there. And Robert shoots high. Oh, and they're wrecking behind him. They're wrecking behind him. The 151, 77 of Pat Roche. Looks like the 5 of Sean Johnson snuck through. Guy Petra. Oh, that's too bad. A lot of guys caught up in that melee there. Yeah, let's take a look at what happened there, folks. And there, as we see there, the 83 car, Steve Weber, just got wicked loose. Must have been an arrow loose situation there, riding in the pack so tight there. And yeah, that's unfortunate for Webb. And the 151 of Guy Petra, and the 77 of Pat Rouchet had nowhere to go, got trapped against the wall, took some punishment there. And then Webb spun down the track there. And it looks like he just missed the 16 of Dan Francisconi. And as he continued to spin, you see all the other guys taking evasive action, including the 5 of Sean Johnson, who just got his laps back and was able to sneak by on the inside, and so was everyone else. So just another unfortunate wreck. Steve Weber just getting arrow loose, it looked like there, and collecting Pat and Guy Petra. Both were on the lead lap, so that might shake up the running orders here a little. You can see the 151 has not pitted. I'm sure he will be. Well, now as we go back to the front with the pace car, we see that the 91 of Ken Shea is the first to cross the line behind the pace car. 191 of Mike Sanders is now second. 151 of Guy Petra down on pit lane now. So the 18 of Robert Bochum is now third. And fifth is unbelievable is T.G. Reese. And that's just some crazy driving by TG to go on that ride that he did and now be in the top 5. That's pretty awesome, TG. And also awesome is the 5 car Sean Johnson, who's now in 6th place. And I think he's got to be feeling sky high right now. And I think he thinks he can win this race, and I don't see why he can't. There's still plenty of laps remaining, and he's got to be just pumped up after going from almost 3 laps down to now on the lead lap and battling for a top 5 with plenty of laps remaining. You got to be pretty happy if you're Sean Johnson right now. He's followed by the 44 of Mark Favorite, the 9 of Ken Hansen, who also had some major damage and has done a great job keeping it in the top 10, as now has Pat, who unfortunately was caught up in that last wreck. But not too bad, as must have not been too bad, as he's still running in 9th, and the 83 of Steve Weber, who was the also part of that wreck that just put us under this current caution. He's showing now in 10th. I don't know if these guys are not fixing some damage, but we do have 15 cars on the lead lap. Just Bill Martino a lap down. The 51 of Dave Jandry has retired. 51 of Dave Jandry has retired. I don't think Dave was involved in that, but something maybe came up with that, but it does show retired, which means he voluntarily pushed a button. So don't know if something came up that caused Dave to leave the race, or his car was off. But the 51 Dave Jandry has retired, so that leaves 16 cars in the race, 15 on the lead lap. So we still got plenty of guys on the lead lap, and the 91 of Ken Shea is our leader. And the 26 of the bashed in rear end there of the 26 car, I don't know if he'll be able to have anything for this 91 car. Ken has been really fast. He's been patient at times when he needed to. He fell back, I think, to maybe 11th or so, and had to pick his way, kind of pick and choose his battles there. I'm sure he felt he was a faster car than some of those guys. But sometimes you can't force the issue. You force the issue, you end up wrecking yourself. So we go back green, and Ken's back in the lead after having it early on in the race. But this is his next stint as a leader. So let's see if he puts the hammer down and can pull away from some of the guys, or if it stays tight at the front. As we see the 191 does did a slide job on the 91 car there, and that was some real tight driving for the lead there, as the 191 got under the 91 and slid back in front of him. And if I didn't know any better, I'm sure the 91 lifted there, or the 191 would have went around. But nonetheless, Mike Sanders back in the lead, just powering by, and Ken Shea showing, I think, a little restraint there by allowing him to not get into the back of him in a precarious spot on the track. But they continue on and see if Ken can reel him back in, which it looks like he's already doing. The 18 of Robert Bokum continues being third, followed by the 5 of Sean Johnson now in fourth. Excuse me. And we're under caution yet again. I'm really surprised at the amount of cautions here from these guys. Looks like maybe the 9 car there got out of shape. Taking a look back at what caused this caution here. Don't know. I saw it looked like the 9 car was a little slow. And there we see that it wasn't the 9 car. The 9 car had a slow for the incident in front of him. You see, it was the again the 83 of Steve Weber's had a rough night. You can see that he was into the wall there. Don't know the cause of it, but we're going to find out right now. As we see the 23 car got onto the apron, pushed up, got into the side of the 83 car, who hard into the wall. And that could be a night over for the Web man, or as Milty likes to call him, the big cactus. He's down there in Tucson, Arizona. And I'm sure he's watching his Arizona Wildcats men's basketball team battle it out for number 1 there. Gonna have to get through my Bruins there, Webb. So we'll see what happens there. But Bill's had a rough night there in the desert in Vegas. He'd rather go back to the desert of Arizona right now, I'm sure. As continue under caution, let's take a quick look at pace car here in the front of the pacing. We see that the lights continue to stay on the pace car, so we got 2 more laps at least. The 108 of Doug Palmer leading some laps here under caution, and the 5 of Sean Johnson now up to second place. The 91 and the 18, Ken Shea, Robert Bokum, respectively, 3rd and 4th. 5th, great run with T.G. Reese in the 53 car. Another great run by the 9 of Ken Hansen after that earlier incident. Den has been in the top 10 now, seems like for the last 50 laps or so. He's in 7th. 44, Mark Fravert. The 191 now of Mike Sanders down in the 9th. See if he can gather it back and come back up to the front. He did it once, got out of shape, got shuffled back a little, went right back to the front, and went back to the front with a vengeance. And he's back now in 9th, so we'll follow him and see what happens. And now the 99 of Pops Marguson back in the top 10. Pops hasn't been really heard from in this race until now. And great job by Pops with 26 laps remaining. He's back in the mix here in the top 10. So great job, Pops. Rooting for you. Dog continues out front here and is not diving into the pits. So he will lead another lap here under caution. Let's see if the lights on the pace car go out this time around. I would suspect that they will. And they have. So Dog is going to lead him to the green here. Good luck, Dog, man. Show the way, bro. I like Dog's tenacity. He doesn't back down, and this is going to be a really interesting challenge for him. I think the 5 of Sean Johnson feels like Superman right now after surviving the 3-lap down incident there, and now he's in second place. I think he wants to lead laps now and show everyone that you know, hey, I was 2 laps down and now I'm the race leader. How do you like me now? And looks like we got a latecomer here in the booth. I don't know if we can get a mic hook up to that guy over there, but I believe Milt has made an appearance here with 26 laps remaining. Are you copying there, Milty?
Yeah, we just rolled in from Buffalo Wild Wings. Give us a minute to get situated and talk to the wife here. We'll pick up the action here.
Yeah, 26 laps remaining there, Milty. So glad you could come in here for the exciting finish. But right now we're back to green flag racing, and the 108 a Dog Palmer leading the field. And we'll see how this shakes out. This should be a really interesting restart here. With the 5 of Sean Johnson, I know is racy. I know he wants to take this lead here. They first have to get around the damaged car of Bill Martino, and they do that, and now Sean immediately looking to take the lead here from Dog as he looks to the inside. Dog holding him off so far. And the 91 of Ken Shea and the 18 of Robert Bokum have gone now with the 108 and the 5, so it's a 4-car field right now. TG trying to keep pace with these top 4. Has lost a couple tenths to him, but the Dog continues to lead out front, looking good. The 5 of Sean Johnson now is under a little fire from the 91 of Ken Shea.
I said this as I'm still trying to load all this stuff up, but I said this over and over again. You know, he kept telling me that he is going to be a champion, and he was going to race for wins, and he has done that and come a long way with you know, he doesn't have the use of his legs, so started out with a steering wheel that was just you know, archaic at best, and you know, now he's got a, you know, excellent Logitech wheel with controls for feet and brake. Quite a story there, and
Sure is. Yeah, he's a very interesting guy. Real humble guy. You know, doesn't make a big deal out of his disability. Jokes about it from time to time, which, you know, has got to be tough to think about. But yeah, he's a good guy. He's a real interesting guy, and he's a good guy to know.
he was a weapons operator on the F4 Phantom.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of military guys running these cars now, Milty. And as we speak about that, the 18 and the 91 were able to get around them, and the 5, but we got the pace car back out on the course with yet another caution. I'm really shocked at the amount of cautions we've had tonight with these guys, but there's been some intense racing.
Not letting me end the race, so I'm going to get on the feed. I'll be about 3 seconds behind, but apparently I can't get it in on the server.
And it looks to me like the 44 car took a pounding on the back end here, and not the good kind. the 99 of Pops Marguson. Oh my! Holy mackerel! What a wreck! Oh, Milty, you'll be happy you're watching that feed in a second when you see this wreck come back at you. This was a monster wreck. The 72 of Mike Pruitt, the 44 of Mark Fravert, and the 99 of Pops Marguson, all involved in this huge, almost over the catch fence wreck at Las Vegas. And man, that's an eerie look to this accident, Milt. And
well, we're gonna do what the fans can do, and how you do that is you go to the FSB.com homepage, go to FSB Live, and you get Twitch TV, and we're loading channel data right now. Just got in. Look.
Yeah, we're gonna ride with Mark Fravert.
Oh my God! I just saw that.
it was a terrible wreck. We're gonna ride here with Mark Fravert as he takes the ride of his life, probably.
Oh my God! There was like 2 cars doing the Carl.
And as you see the in-car of Mark Fravert, as he's airborne and looking back down at the track, he sees the 99 car Pops Marguson drive right underneath him. That's some good stuff there, Milty.
And now we're on there. We got the commercial. Oh my gosh, I'm just watching it right now. Mark Fravert looking down as Pops goes under him. I'm going to be about 3 seconds behind you, so
yeah,
try not to confuse the viewers too much here. But that's crazy.
Now we're going to take a look at the in-car for Mike Pruitt, who took. If he had wings on his car, he would have landed at Nellis Air Force Base down the road from the track here. That was a crazy ride by Mike Pruitt as well, and we're going to watch this right now, Milty. So you're going to like it.
Where's my bucket? I got to throw up.
Oh, what a ride by Mike Pruitt
right there, man. Well, I have the master boss password, but I can't remember it, so that probably could get me in. But I don't know. We probably got a full field here,
but only if you know it.
Yeah. So we're just gonna watch it like the fans are here and comment on it.
Yeah, that's no problem, Milt. We'll keep in mind that you're just slightly behind the actual live action there. As we go back, we're still under caution. Lights are still on the pace car, so we have a little time here to catch everyone back up after watching that tremendous wreck. Yeah,
catch me up here too, man.
Yeah, so we got the 18 of Robert Bokum now in the lead, the 108 of Dog Palmer now back to second. The 91 of Ken Shea pitted, so he dropped back down to sixth. Fourth and fifth, the 191 of Mike Sanders had a tremendous run tonight. Again, I was just talking about he had to go to the back, and then he's back to the front. Then he had to go back to the back again, and now he's back at the front, back and forth again. Mike's probably passed more cars than anyone tonight, and then he's racy, and he's passed Robert Bokum, and he's passed Ken Shea. So he knows he can do it. So I don't know. There's a lot of good drivers having tremendous drives tonight. The 5 of Sean Johnson, Milty.
Dan up in third there.
Yeah, the 5 of Sean Johnson, Milty, was almost 3 laps down, and now look where he is. He's in 5th place on the lead lap. Just a great job of driving by Sean to avoid going down the extra lap and then fighting his way back onto the lead lap, 2 laps down, Milt.
Then you got Ken Shea, or Ski G, as Slim used to call him, 91 there, Kit Hansen, 7th, 83 of the Big Cactus. A little tough run there in his home track at Pro Cup, but he's back at it. Rouchet from Louisiana there in ninth, and man, we got a show here, boys.
Yeah, we do, and Robert taking him back out. Robert hasn't really led a lot of laps here tonight. He's been up at the front, of course, but this is his first time to let's see if he can stretch something out with really only 17 laps remaining. This is basically a sprint to the finish now, Milty.
Who's that in the 26 there? Is that
That's Bill Martino.
Oh, okay. Changed his number?
Maybe he did from when he was previously in. But
well,
got some battles going on here, Milt. Look out. The 108 gets a little wide, and the train is coming.
Well, this is go, like you said the other Wednesday night. This is go time, and Francisconi. Oh man, that's a nice pass. Whoa, that was close with the 191.
Yes, it was.
I know I'm a little behind here.
I'm telling you, Mike Sanders has driven like a man possessed tonight, and we really got to follow his progression here. It's been quite remarkable, Milty. The 191 is just driving the wheels off of his car tonight.
Well, he's the head of Pin City Motorsports. He sponsored the last two Indy 500s. He's, put some money out of his pocket to, and the Long Beach Grand Prix, which I got a big old fat trophy sitting right next to me here. And very nice trophy. There's pictures in the forum. Really like to thank Mike and Sin City for that. Quality dude, quality racer, and this kind of track he likes, man. Get some.
And the 5 of Sean Johnson there trying to get some on Mike Sanders, but Mike was having none of that, and Sean quickly thought better of that move.
Wow. I keep forgetting I'm a little behind here, so I'm used to watching a couple of feeds here, but looking at the broadcast live and the clarity and everything.
And there's contact between the 5 and the 191, and Mike Sanders, unfortunately, really hard into the wall. And dare I say that probably ends his night, which is really got to be heartbreaking for him, Milty. There's contact between the 5 and the 191 there, Milty, and
yeah, I'm watching the feed and
yeah,
trying to see what happened there. Can't really
yeah, we'll rewind it here real quick here, Milton, and take another look at the contact.
Show us that.
So we see that the 5 and the 191 were really battling. The 5 did get a run onto the inside of them, but just again, as I said before on a previous wreck, I don't wanna cast judgment on who's at fault in these wrecks. That's for admins and others in the race to determine. But yeah, it just unfortunately it was a bad place to pass there, and it basically looked like the 5 car ran out of real estate and was in the same space as the 191, who was in front of them. And you know what we say here, Milty, the guy that's doing the passing has the responsibility to make the pass cleanly. The 191 was just running his line and kind of ran out of real estate there, and they both came together. But just a really bad break for Mike Sanders.
Yeah, and as broadcasters, we're just talking about what we see. We don't speak for the league or any kind of judgment.
Yeah, not at all. You're right.
Yeah. Right. So it's no pressure you know, so I'm going to go on a limb and make a call there. As far as what I see, now looking at the replay, it looked like Mike Sanders was taking a look at Den, and so he was going Den down low, which is what a driver does, is get in their mirrors, you show them that you're making an aggressive move, and I think at the same time the 5 was making a move on the 191, and then they ran out of real estate, and kind of like the freeway, you know, when you're...
Yeah, it was kind of like that merge lane that runs out on you, and if the guy doesn't give you any ground and you don't yield as you merge, you occupy the same space at the same time, and sometimes you both lose, and sometimes one person loses, and unfortunately, it looks like the 191 was the loser there, Milt.
Yeah, and as you and I know, both doing a lot of driving in L.A., there's no diamond lane here, so...
No, yeah, there's no diamond lane here at FSB Racing. But now, Milty...
20 laps ago, 96... No, 10 laps ago, excuse me. 96 and 106. Look at... How about that? Dan Francisconi, Sconi.com Ford, is behind his teammate there, the legendary Robert Bokum. John there, you know, didn't watch the race soon, or earlier, so, you know, I think if he had an ink already there, he would have probably parked it, so, you know, I'm sure he didn't want to do that, but then you got Ken Shea up to Bumblebee up to 5th there, which is no surprise.
Yeah, just as we get back to racing, we'll have 10 laps, 9 laps remaining. Milty, all bets are off now. If you got a car to win, you got to get to the front. You got to get by Robert Bokum. That's your task. If you're not Robert Bokum, you got to get by Robert Bokum. If you're Robert Bokum, you just got to do what you always do, and that's just drive smoothly and cleanly, and see where that takes you in 9 more laps.
Yeah, and as a competitor against Robert, when he's behind you and he doesn't wreck you and he races you hard, but when you're behind him, especially his teammate with Den there, believe me, Den would love to win this race, but I know for sure, like the rest of us, when you race against Robert Bokum, you know he's not going to take you out on purpose to win a race. There's no way. So if it happens by accident, it's another story. But you know, these guys are all going to be. They want to win this race, but at the same time, the last thing they're going to want to do is take out Robert. I mean, he's got the whole deal: skills, sportsmanship.
Right. And we go. Get back to green flag racing here, Milty, with Robert leading the field down, and like you said, then his teammate in second, and Sean his teammate in third. So Boca Motorsports 1, 2, and 3. Ken Shea, if has any say in that matter, though, it's not going to be a 1, 2, 3 finish, as he is all over the back bumper of Sean Johnson as they get underneath 16 of Den. And the 83 of Steve Weber now in the mix.
Come on, Big Cactus. Well, the 91 is... See, here we go again. We got the same kind of situation behind there, but this time Den gets it.
Oh, and the 16 to 77 in the 9 car.
Whoa.
Really tight racing there. Den driving the wheels off of his car now, trying to keep that top 5 position. But Pat wants
also, smart racing there, because he could have done Days of Thunder there and just said, I want second, and no way you're going to pass me. But when you're beat, you're beat, and that's why.
Oh, and the 91 has spun the 5 car, and the 5 car hard into the safer barriers on the inside wall, and man, and just another wreck you don't like seeing.
Oh boy, yeah, I'm watching it right now. That's a hard lick right there. Well, just joined right now, so you were saying a lot of cautions this race.
Yeah, there was a lot of hard racing here, and not a lot of give and take by any means. Guys are wanting to win races now. And yeah, you can see that the 5 wasn't the fastest car at the moment there, and the 91 wanted to get to the inside, and looked like Sean was just trying to anticipate his move and was in front of him, but the speed difference from Ken Shea caused him to get into the back bumper of Sean there, Milty, and unfortunately for Sean,
that's not one that Ken would have wanted to do, and I've wrecked a few people coming out of corners like that, because what you're trying to do as a driver, you're trying to get a run to set up the next corner, because there's no way he was going to pass him there. So that was definitely not what Ken Shea wanted to do. It was he was trying to get that run to make the move there, but
yeah, he was trying to get to the inside of him to set him up as they went into the turn, which is really the only passing place. Is you got to be completely side by side with the guy as you get into the turn. If you're trailing that guy, even if you have the inside line, it's very difficult to pass without either pushing up into him or giving yourself a slower speed, which enables the guy on the outside to keep his momentum up and keep by you. So you really have to be side by side to make the pass. And yeah, it looked like Sean was anticipating the move, and Ken was just the faster car at the moment there, and just couldn't get off the gas quick enough. And unfortunately for Sean, he went hard into the inside wall there, and yeah, that's another guy. But maybe not to feel sorry for, Milt, is the 191 who's back up into the top 5 after having that incident. What do you think of that?
Well, that's called my dad's motto was Donkey Bop, which was don't give up, and that's a story for another time. But and that was his motto: never, don't give up. And Michael has done that. You gotta, you can't cry over spilt milk. You gotta get back with it and understand wrecks happen, and you try to get the best finish you can. And that's a testament, and that's a testament to the character. These races racing ebbs and flows, and there's a lot of give and take, and there's nothing but competitors out there. So that's why we race in a league, because this race will definitely be reviewed, and if there's a lot of cautions, which I'm going to watch this podcast after. Believe me, the admins are watching that too. We advertise clean racing, and we expect that, but we also have a lot of fast, competitive people racing for every position. So sometimes things happen, but it will be dealt with, and per the rules.
Yeah, I mean, race. That's why they call them racing deals. I mean, sometimes that's the way it is, and those things happen, and most of these guys here know that. They've been on both sides of it. They've been someone who's maybe been a little over ambitious and has caused a wreck, and they've been on the receiving end of maybe someone being overly ambitious on them, and maybe getting caught up in someone else's mess. And you understand that most of these guys aren't in the business to wreck. They're in the business to drive clean and win races, just like you. So you got to keep that in mind when you're sitting there behind your wheel after you get wrecked, saying, "What the hell just happened?" The other guy's probably saying, man, I can't believe I just did that too.
Exactly.
Now, Milty, the pace car's lights are off, and we're on lap 105 of 106, Milty.
Yeah, this is going to be green, white, check.
No,
baby.
this is gonna be, yes, an actual green and white, and then a checker. So only a 2-lap dash for cash.
Well, and you know, if Ken Shea doesn't have another incident, that's one for him. You would have to think if you put your admin cap on. But then again, that doesn't mean he can't race for the win. But you know, he takes the 18 out here.
Yeah, that's something that's
going to be that's going to be an admin situation.
Yeah, I don't know if that's on the forefront of his mind. I hope he realizes that he, you know, at the very least he should count that as an incident. So I'm sure he doesn't want to wreck Robert and take a win and then lose that win because he needs to DQ himself and not finish the race.
Yeah, you know, if it was jogging, they'd call it jogging, but this is racing, so
His car is off here, Milt, so we're going to see. This is going to be a 1-lap dash for cash. And Robert takes the green. And Ken has stayed back slightly as they get into 1 and 2. Oh, and Robert got extremely loose. And Ken has gone by him, as has a bunch of guys. We're going to have to take a look back at that and see what the heck happened. It was right in a camera switching angle. And as they come down to the checkered flag, Ken Shea is going to be your winner, Milt.
Wow. Well, that does not surprise me because I'm watching it now about 3 seconds or 5 seconds back. So watching the camera switch, and he got loose there. And that's the pressure the 91 can give you because everybody knows how fast he is, but that is very uncharacteristic of Robert Bocum there. Really got loose there. The big cactus in second, and the applicant Ken Hansen in third there. Got to know this guy.
We're gonna quickly before the game cuts us off here. We're gonna quickly take a look at a different camera angle here on the restart, and
wow, that's why they run the races, folks. That's why we broadcast, because you never know. You could sign, seal, and deliver this thing. 18 wins, but guess what?
Milt,
it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, and I hate to be like a wet blanket or something on this, but Robert is right in between turns 1 and 2 here where he gets out of shape.
Okay, I'm watching it.
And it looks like Ken initiates his pass but he initiated that pass, it looked like, before they exited turn 2.
Okay.
Now, I know Robert, we'll rewind it again so you can...
Well, if the car gets loose in front of you, or...
Right. Robert did get loose, but it's been kind of preached to us that unless the guy is, like, against the wall and dead in the water...
Okay,
that give that guy a chance to gather it back in. We're going to take several looks at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't speak for the admin crew, but that's coming out of turn 2. Ken's on the gas. What is he going to do there? Yes. By the time he sees Robert get loose there, there's no way. If he stacks it up, he stacks the whole field up, and they all wreck.
Yeah, that's like I said. That's a good point.
But that's why we talk about this stuff.
What it looked like to me is Robert did get he got out of the groove there, and as he was coming back down,
Oh, he just. Oh,
he
man, that was
saw
a great
Ken was
save,
already
though.
there, and he cut the wheel hard right to avoid contact with Ken Shea.
Yeah, it's
That's gonna be.
yeah. From my point,
I'm glad I'm not an admin.
18, yeah, I'm seeing the 18 get loose. You're showing it over and over. Which keep doing that because I want to see it there again.
We'll look at it from some different angles here.
Yeah.
And we see Robert. Man, that's. And you can see that they haven't exited turn 2 as the pass was made by Ken Shea.
Yeah, well, where is the exit of turn 2 technically? Is it right there where it says Las Vegas 2? Like I'm watching it. That's really close.
It's really close, but like I said, I'm glad I'm not an admin having to watch that. I think without not talking to these guys, Milt, if we ask Robert, I think he's going to say that, yeah, he did get a little loose, but he didn't have, as he was gathering it back in.
Where's he going to go? He was already, Robert was already too high there. Ken Shea, I mean, like I said, I'll say again, I do not speak for anybody except
in my opinion is only my own and no one else's.
Exactly.
But man, that's a tough break for Robert, and I'm glad I'm not an admin having to make a look at that and make a call on a race win.
The great thing about the admin calls is, it's just like when you watch it in the NFL. To overchange a call that stands, that's called on the field, you have to have indisputable evidence. And looking at this, we can't stop the race right there and say, okay, everybody, let's look at this. So looking at it from hindsight, you got to think that this is just my opinion, but I think they're going to probably let that call stand, and Ken Shea's your winner. That's what I'm thinking. Because to me, Robert is getting loose before Ken is even up on his quarter pedal. So, and he's already high there. He got down low, got too low, and got loose, and what's Ken Shea going to do? He's on the gas right there. He made a perfect move. And I don't think you can penalize the 91 for. He could have run into Robert, but he didn't. He took the preferred line. You can't think fast enough. Give Robert credit for stabbing the brakes there, and maybe you can get a couple of these drivers up here. As I'm going to take a quick pit stop and talk about it a little bit, but I can't wait to watch this broadcast. I wish I was here, but I was having fun with my coworkers at the Buffalo Wild Wings, having a few beers and dips and hanging out, doing life. So,
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
No problem. Well, we're not going to bring anyone up on this one. We're going to cut this one short right now with Milty taking a break. But just a great race and a real interesting finish, unexpected finish. But nonetheless, a victory for Ken Shea. As Robert went off the pace there and finished, I think, about 6th or 7th in the final running order, which I unfortunately didn't get a review with you guys because we were looking at the replays of it. But I can tell you that Ken Shea did take the checkers, and I can't tell you who finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th though. But just a really interesting race, lots of cautions. lots of different interesting guys that led some laps and were up at the front, and watch guys go from laps down to leading the race to wrecked out again, and just a really different type of racing than we're used to seeing here at FSB. But I appreciate Milt joining, and we look forward to broadcasting next week's race. Wednesday Pro Cup, Friday Winston Cup. FSBRacing.com. Check out the website. Read some stuff on there. Sign up if you're interested. Get an email. Give you some instructions on how to get racing. Get some free racing in. See if you like it, if it's for you. And you take it from there. But I appreciate you joining me. Better late than never, Milty.
Yeah, no problem. You want me to drag a couple guys up here? We have time, or?
Well, we're running up on the amount of feed here, so.
Okay.
Trying to keep these things capped so they don't take 4 hours to load.
Well, you want action, you got it. You want blood, you got it. But not really. I mean, these guys race clean, they race hard. Stuff happens, so
yeah, it does.
It's great when you race in a league, and that's the only way I like to race. Even in iRacing or anything, it's all about running. Having somebody looking at things and figuring it out. And
absolutely, and FSB is always right on that, and if there's anything that comes out of this race, they'll take care of it. If there is something there, they'll take care of it. If there's not, then everyone moves on to the next race. But I appreciate you joining me late there, Milt. Better, like I said, it's always better late than never for you. And catch you on the Wednesday night Pro Cup race.
Oh yeah, definitely, Greg. Thanks again for broadcasting this stuff. I can't wait to get down there and talk to those guys.
Absolutely. We're going to both jump down after I cut this thing off.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks, Milt.
All right. Thank you, Greg. FSBRacing.com. Get some.